screening that we're doing in places where people are gathering, I think the more asymptomatic disease we will be detecting. And certainly there's a lot of, there's more gathering that happens in airports. And so to the extent that we have available tests to be able to do testing, first and foremost, I would really encourage people to not travel. But if we are traveling, this would be yet another mitigation measure to try and decrease the spread.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to make a video regarding travel. Yes, we're going to talk about travel today. I know I've been trying to switch it up a little bit, but as you know, we can't just talk about politics all the time. I mean, this kind of has something to do with politics, but really I think this is something that people need to know because it could impact a lot of people's lives moving forward. So before I get started, you guys know the drill. Go to my website at letstalkdarling.com, scroll on up to the top and make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Then scroll on down to the bottom, make sure you enter your email address so that I can stay in contact with you. I can share with you exclusive information that I will only share on my website because I cannot share it on social media because they don't want me to share certain stuff. There's rules, you know what I mean? All right. Oh, and don't forget, hit that donate button if you feel in your heart you can give a donation to my Give Back Challenge. I did a video a while back called the Venmo Challenge, and it was an amazing experience. I got to give a sweet young lady at a restaurant who happened to be my waitress a stack of cash that allowed her to pay off her car and her credit card. So I want to do it again, and I need your guys' help to do that. All right, let's get started on the video. Let's not delay. So President Biden, he's on this rampage to ruin our lives. And his latest thing is, well, not just him, but the administration, they want to make it a rule that for domestic travel, you must get a COVID test prior to traveling. Now, it is already a rule that if you're going to be traveling internationally before you can come back into the United States, you have to show proof of a negative COVID test. So, as suspected, that is now going to possibly carry over into domestic travel as well. Now, Representative Andy Biggs from Arizona, he introduced a bill to bar the Biden administration from mandating COVID testing for domestic travel. And I really, really hope that this doesn't happen. I really hope that he's successful in stopping them from doing this, because aside from it being a huge inconvenience just to do basic travel for leisure, it's going to be a major inconvenience to people who travel for business. It's going to hurt the airline industry tremendously, and it's also going to hurt our economy that is already trying to recover from the effects of the shutdown from COVID in general, okay? Now, Pete Buttigieg, who is the Transportation Secretary, has stated that there is an active conversation going on about whether to make this a mandate. Now, I get really nervous when they say that there's an active conversation going because, as we have already seen, President Biden tends to just sign executive orders left and right, like he's handing out, mint candy or bubble gum. And I don't know if much thought is going into these things, and he's making some pretty crazy decisions. So I really hope that if they are having this conversation, that they put a lot of thought into how this is really going to impact people. Now, they state that the conversation is being guided by the CDC. Pause for reaction. I don't trust the CDC. I don't know if you trust the CDC, but the CDC states that they are having this conversation guided by science, medicine, data that we already have, and also the people that are going to have to carry this out if it is in fact mandated. So that would be the healthcare workers that are going to see a 50% increase in testing at the very least. Then the airline workers that are going to have to verify these tests, okay? Because the way I'm going to explain to you how it's going to work or what it's going to look like. But it's going to put a huge strain on people as far as what their day-to-day jobs are already. Now the CDC announced that a negative test will be required, obviously, for international travel, and that is already a rule that started January 26th. And from what I hear, or from what I've seen, people that have traveled internationally or maybe were coming back from out of the country have stated that it has been a crazy inconvenience, that the wait times have been super long, that, you know, travel that maybe used to take them 4 hours is now taking 6 hours. I mean, I'm talking about just the part at the airport. I'm not talking about the flying part of it. But you know, like I said earlier, this is really going to have an impact. Now, just imagine if any of you guys are watching that are in like a sales role, or you work at a company that has a huge sales force, and those people tend to travel quite a bit. Sometimes, you know, to multiple places throughout the week. They do 1 to 2 day trips here and there. I don't know who's going to be expected or how companies are going to work out who is going to be paying for the test. I would assume that it's going to be a combination of either the employee will have to front the cost of the test, the airline will have to come up with funds, which ultimately we will pay for, that will provide free testing for people who are traveling, or the company themselves will have to test their employees. Now, you're either going to have people who are just going to flat out refuse this because the test itself is not pleasant. And then just in general, people who travel a lot are not going to want to have this test all the time because you have to have it within 1 to 3 days of travel. Or you're going to have companies that are just going to halt travel altogether, move more to like an audio, video, teleconferencing, Zoom type of situation, where they're just not going to be traveling as much, which will limit that face-to-face interaction with their customers. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, okay? But the stupidest part of it all to me is, who remembers 15 days to slow the spread? Wow, that sounds like it was so long ago, but it wasn't really even a year and a half ago that we thought, okay, 15 days, we'll have to stay quarantined, we'll have to wear masks, and then we can go back to our normal life. Well, no, that's not the case. You know, in addition to requiring you to get tested for international travel, now they're going to want to, you know, require you to get tested for domestic travel. And on top of that, you know, who knows if we're going to see a requirement to get the vaccine. All the while, even if you have the vaccine, even if you have a negative test on, you know, the 1 to 3 days before you travel, you still have to wear a mask in the airport. You still have to wear a mask in the aircraft itself. And on top of that, they're recommending that you self-quarantine for 7 days after you arrive at your destination. So what exactly are we trying to accomplish here by doing this other than controlling people? That's all I really see. I don't know about you, but that's all I really see. So I want to know how you guys feel about this, especially those of you that travel for a living, or those of you that like to travel for leisure. A lot of people have really postponed a lot of travel that they usually would do for leisure. Some people take 1 to 2 trips leisurely per year. Imagine a whole family, you guys. Imagine a family of 4 having to get the mom, the dad, and the 2 kids tested prior to a trip, because you do have to have a test if you're 2 years or older. Okay, so imagine having to go through all that to leave for your destination, to come back, you got to get tested again. And then depending on where you're going, you might have to still quarantine when you get there. It's crazy. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments box below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share this video. And do not forget to come on back for the next topic that we're going to discuss. Thank you guys so much and have a good one. Bye-bye.